Welcome to practice. I'm Donna Cavanough. We're going to begin kneeling or sitting on the floor. And if you take some support, like a rolled up blanket, and put that underneath your sit bone to help you lift your spine. And if you're kneeling, to make sure your knees are comfortable. If kneeling hurts your knees, don't do that. Just sit comfortably with your legs out in front. And we're going to try with kneeling to have the feet parallel to each other. Might feel a little strange if you're not used to that. So long as it doesn't hurt. And we're sitting with long spine. Close your eyes and bring your focus to your breathing. Noticing what it feels like to connect to your breathing. And all the other aspects of life and what occupies your mind can stay at the periphery of your awareness, but we'll bring our focus to the breath and to how you feel just now. And then opening your eyes, and we're going to interlock the fingers and then press the palms. We'll explore how the shoulders feel. So you're going to keep your shoulders down and you'll take your arms as high as you can without lifting your shoulders up. And you might find some sore shoulders in there. Maybe it just feels really good to see how it feels for you. Take it slow and see if you can stretch your arms straight. Taking your small fingers back and your index fingers up. Neck relaxed, throat relaxed. Lovely. And then we'll release that side. And interlocking your fingers on the second side. And we'll press out through the palm. Draw the shoulder blade down. And see how it feels on that side. Neck relaxed, throat relaxed, face relaxed. Press through straight arms, index fingers press, small fingers reach back. And then releasing that side. Nice work. We're going to lean over to the right side and let your spine make a banana shape. So you're stretching your left ribs. Good. And then even just let your left arm dangle over to the right. And take some deep breaths and really feel that left lung expanding. And back up to center. And then we'll make a banana shape to the left with the torso, and even just let your right arm dangle in that direction. We really want to influence some more space between the ribs and the right side. And taking some nice deep breaths into the right lung, right down to the base of the lung. Oh, feels good. And coming back up to center. Nice work. We're going to be in an all fours position now, so you don't need your blanket. And come into forward virasana. So knees out wide, big toes touching, and hips as close to the heels as your knees are comfortable with. Arms stretching forward. And we're going to feel those satisfying breaths into the back of the lungs and the back of the ribs. Nice work. Look forward at your hands. Elbows out wide. We'll bring the chest along the floor and laying your tummy down onto the floor. Elbows in. And we're going to lift the breastbone. We'll take some deep breaths. So lift as much of your ribs off the floor as you can. Some deep breath into this back bend shape, front of the rib. Beautiful. Let's press up into all fours. Again, fingers out nice and wide. And we'll just arch the spine up and down. Follow the flow of your breath. So as you're exhaling, you're retracting the front core of the body or lifting the front core of the body. As you're inhaling, you're expanding the front core of the body. And the back is following. Nice work. Back into your forward Virasana. Big toes touching. Hips towards the heels. We're going to walk the hands over to the left side and really reach with the right arm. So again, we get to open the ribs on the right side of the body. Neck stays relaxed, shoulders relaxed. But feeling that deep breath, seeing if you can get a little more ease and movement between the ribs on the right. And then back to center. And then walking your hands over to the right side. And particularly walking your left arm or reaching your left arm further. Enjoying a little more space between your ribs on the left. Neck relaxed. Lovely. And then coming back center. Look forward at your hands, elbows out wide, chest along the floor. Good. So the legs are parallel. We're going to lift the breastbone and lift as many ribs off the floor as you can. And taking that deep breath into the front of the rib cage as the spine presses forward. Beautiful. Pressing up into your all fours position. And this time we're going to lift all the way up into downward facing dog pose. So stretch your fingers wide and straight. Tuck the toes under, knees off the floor. Keep the knees bent and the hips high. And begin to ease your chest towards the front of the legs. And if you sway your hips a little from side to side, you might find that's easier to lengthen through the armpits, the side ribs. Watching the flow of your breath. Nice work. Back to center, and we're going to take some little steps to walk your feet forward and try to press your heels down towards the floor. You might only get a couple of little steps in, or you might be able to walk your feet close up to your hands. But when you run out of room, roll yourself up and arms up. Looking beautiful. And then Tadasana. At the front of the mat. Feeling your flow of breath. Urdhva Hastasana. And then Uttanasana. Good. And we're going to try and reach the bones of the spine further forward. So bend your legs and look forward and feel that embedding of the spine deep into the muscle, a spaciousness for the front of the body, connected to your flow of breath. And then if it feels okay and you don't tense your back, you can try straightening one leg, bending that one, straightening the other. and feeling the flow of breath and how satisfying it is to stay connected. Great. We're going to walk the feet back into downward facing dog pose and try to take little steps and challenge your foot, leg, hip mobility. And then as you start to reach the feet back further, we're challenging our shoulder mobility. Try to keep your neck relaxed. Pressing your heels now. Pressing your fingerprints, the base of the index fingers. But really broad between your shoulders. Lifting your sit bones. Lovely. And you're going to bring your feet back to the front of the mat. Do that however feels good. I'm going to do little jumps. And when you run out of room, roll yourself up. And arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. And Tadasana. Feeling the flow of breath. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. And we feel the bones of the spine embedding forward. We're going to step the left foot back. Not a huge distance. So see if you can put your heel down onto the floor. And the front leg, we need to bend it so that we can find the bones of the spine embedding forward, looking forward. Upasvartanasana. Good. And then we're going to start to straighten the front leg. So we don't want to straighten the front leg at the expense of the back. So make sure your back is feeling really long here. And you're finding the flow of your breath. You're not trying to force that straightness of the front leg, but rather be curious. And we want to really feel that the feet have got us, have got the balance. Strong legs. Front leg as straight as you can. And we're going to lift the arms up and the palms up and look forward. Connected to your flow of breath. Feeling the shoulders moving back away from the ears. Lifting the palms high. Reaching the torso forward. Lovely. We're going to stand up and step the left foot forward. And we're going to try and balance on the right foot and bring the left foot in front. All right. We're going to take a balance challenge. That might be palms of the hands in front of your heart pressing. The tiptoes, left tiptoes could be on the floor if necessary. Or you might lift that left leg higher. See if you can hold your knee or your foot. And finding your Tadasana, even though it's only on one leg. Beautiful. And then placing the left foot down with an intention to where you place your foot. So we don't just fall back into position, but we know just where we're going to put it. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. Looking forward, bones of the spine embedding forward. Right leg steps back. And you want your right heel to be able to touch the floor for Upasvartanasana. Legs or feet, I should say, are hip width from side to side, parallel. Bend your front leg. See if you can find that feeling of the bones of the spine pressing forward so we don't have a tension or tautness to the skin of the spine. And then exploring straightening the front leg. Mm. Good. Really feel that your feet have your balance. And then take your arms up from the floor, palms up, looking forward, strong, straight leg, or straightening leg. Keep reaching the torso as far forward as you can, lifting your palms high. Mm. Mm. Good. And then we're going to step forward, lift up, balance on the left leg. Yes, all at once. Bring the right foot in front and then find your balance challenge. So that might be hands pressing together in front of your heart, right tiptoes at the floor, or lifting your right leg high, or even holding your knee. And finding your Tadasana, even albeit on one leg. Mm. Now, before you place that foot down, really feel where you're going to put the foot first before you transfer your weight. So you're always in balance. Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. We're going to step the left foot back this time for Trikonasana, triangle pose. So that's about your own leg length for the step. And we line up the right heel and the left center of the inner arch. And then we start to straighten the leg. You might bend and straighten, just exploring what feels good there or what might be resistant or difficult. Okay, we want the legs to feel strong, so lift the kneecaps and lift your torso as much as you need to, might be all the way up, until you can bring your left hip back in line with the feet. And then right hand onto your right leg, and we'll take the left arm up. And we're going to use the breath and the timing here to lengthen the spine. Remember, we were breathing into the side ribs, the back ribs. Let's try to make some more space for the side ribs again by reaching the spine, reaching the right under waist along the right thigh. Left hip is rolling back, left ribs are rolling back, and the heart is shining outward and upward, drawing the shoulder blades towards the back leg, lengthening your neck. And feeling that flow of breath, whether we bring our attention to the breath or not, it is consistent. How deeply can we feel the breath in the torso here? Make space, make length. Appreciating your strong legs. Nice work. We're going to lift up, lift the arms up, turn the palms up to the ceiling. Bring the hands in front of the heart. So we're going to step back to the front of the mat and balance on the right foot. And you're going to take a challenge, hold again of your left leg. That might be the knee, it might be the foot. We find our Tadasana, the feeling of the mountain, the core of the body strong. And before you put the left leg back down, see if you can find where it's going to go before you transfer your weight. Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Thumbs up. Uttanasana. Bones of the spine pressing forward. Right foot back. Trikonasana. Good. Just play around with getting your left leg straight, bent and straight. Exploring that stretch, strength. The legs need to be feeling strong as we lift the torso now. And lift your torso all the way to the point where you can roll your right hip back in line with your feet. So you might be coming all the way up to standing upright. Arms out from the shoulders. And then we're going to lengthen the left ribs out and over the left leg. Trikonasana. Right hip rolls back. And we're trying to feel the breath right down into the base of the lungs. Trying to feel the left ribs move, the right ribs move, the left waist lengthen, and the rib cage turn so that the heart shines upward. Reach the back of the right hand back. Find as much length and spaciousness as you can for the breath. Strong legs. And then inhale. And coming up, and we're going to step forward and be balanced on the left foot. Bring the right leg in front. Whoa. And take your challenge. Hold. And on one leg, we're finding our Tadasana, our mountain pose. Finding the breath. Feeling strong in the core of the body. Feeling the internal muscular support. Shoulders relaxed. And then before you put that foot down, find where you're going to place your foot. Feel your balance. Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. Now we're going to step the left foot back even a bigger distance this time. So this time for Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. So your right heel, left inner arch are lining up, and we're going to bend the right leg. And we're going to lift the torso. And again, try to keep lifting the torso, even reaching back to the left side until you can get your left hip in line with your feet and your right knee. Bend a little more deeply into your right knee. Lift the pelvic floor, the lower front core, the belly, below the belly button. Bring the arms up from the shoulders. We're going to turn the whole torso to look to the left. So feel the ribs turn and feel the breath expanding the ribs. And then just your head turns to look right. Lovely. Now we're going to take the right elbow and put that onto your right knee. We're going to see if we can lengthen the sides of the waist. So heading the torso to the right. And we're going to roll the left hip back and the left rib back, looking up at the ceiling. Whoa. And if you can reach further, you can try taking your right hand down onto the floor. If it makes you really tip forward, go back to the elbow on the knee. And then we're going to take the left arm by the left ear. And we keep the bend of the right leg as deep as you can. Beautiful. And then we're going to lift up. And we're going to step back to the front of the mat. Try and do it in one movement. Balancing on the right foot, bringing the left foot in front. And challenge yourself. Try to hold your knee higher or maybe even try to reach your foot, but staying balanced. And before you put your left foot back down, really finding where you're going to put that foot. mountain pose. Tadasana. Urdhva. Uttanasana. Right foot is going to step back that big distance and line up your left heel and the center of the right inner arch. Left leg bend. Lift the torso. For Virabhadrasana 2, bend the left leg. As the hips drop, as the pelvis sinks down, we want to lift the internal muscular support, the pelvic floor, the front core, particularly below the belly button. Draw the shoulder blades down. We're going to turn the whole torso to look back to the right. And we're trying to fill the lungs, feel the ribs move with the breath. Turn just your head to look left. Feel that you can lower the pelvis, but lift the core. Left hand onto the left knee. Left elbow onto the left knee. Right hand onto the right hip. Rolling the right hip back, the right ribs back. Feeling the breath, moving the ribs. If you have a little more reach left, take your left hand to the floor inside your left foot. Otherwise, keep your elbow on your knee. We bend the left knee. We lengthen the ribs. And even take your right arm by your right ear. Beautiful, and lifting up. And then we're going to step forward and balance on the left leg. Right leg in front. Whoa. And challenge yourself. Try to balance. Try to feel your Tadasana, even though you're only on one leg. Good, and then placing your right foot down. With intention. Let's take the feet out as wide as the mat. And we're going to squat a little. You're going to squat as much as is good for your knees. So that just might be a little way, but you're going to lift your quadriceps. You might be able to bring your sit bones closer to your heels. And we're going to reach the arms right out in front. And if your heels aren't quite touching the floor, wiggle from side to side and try to get one heel down and then the other. And try to press the heels down. So imagine the Achilles tendons lengthening. Oh, good. And then we're going to try and press both heels, lifting the pelvic floor and lifting up. Nice work. We're going to use that movement to try and sit down without using the hands. But of course, come to a seated position using your wisdom. And sit up onto a blanket. So we're going to make some length for the spine. Oh, I'm sitting in cross legs, but whatever is comfortable for your leg position. So making length for the spine and turning to the left side. And as you feel the breath, moving the ribs. So we keep a sense of our suppleness in the rib cage. So even though we're sitting tall, feel the expansion of the ribs with each breath. And also notice how there's room to move with each breath. So exploring the suppleness of the rib cage, the volume of the lung. Beautiful. Now you're going to keep your right hand on your left leg and lift your left arm up by your left ear. And then we're going to reach the right ribs over the right thigh. And you're going to do this slowly and keep exploring the mobility of your rib cage. So even though we're putting it into an awkward situation here, we're going to try and keep that feeling of the ribs moving with the breath. And you reach as far as you are able to go, but exploring that feeling of mobile ribs. Mm. Mm. Good. And then inhale and coming up. And we're going to change the cross of the leg and turning to the right side. Ah. And then finding the movement of the ribs again with the breath. Your feeling of suppleness there. So we let go of that rigidity. Sometimes, trying to hold ourselves with a long spine, we create a rigidity in the body. So let's really find our suppleness, our easy movement as you explore your potential. Ah. And then we're going to keep the left hand on the right leg and reach the right arm up by your right ear and lengthen your left ribs over your left thigh. And try to keep connected to that feeling of flow, the breath flowing in the lungs, flowing through the ribs, through the spine, keeping an ease to the neck. Ah, beautiful. And then we'll lift up. And I forgot to change the cross of the legs. Let's do that now, if your legs are crossed. We're going to sit on the right hand. And it's just to anchor it. So however you can manage to anchor, you can hold on to your blanket or your sit bone. And we're going to lean over to the left side. And again, we're just going to let the body hang in this direction. And we're noticing where the stretch is. Is it in the arm, the right arm, or the right shoulder? Ooh, and what we would really like it to do is move into the neck. We want to bring the left ear, just relax to the left shoulder. Oh, and enjoying that flow of breath in the ribs, in the body. Lovely. And gently coming back up to center. And then anchor your left hand somewhere, holding onto your blanket or onto your sit bone. And then we want to just let the body, the torso, relax to the right side. And at first you might feel the stretch more strongly in your left arm or shoulder. But if you really let your right ear just relax towards your right shoulder, oh, you'll start to feel the stretch in the left side of the neck. Wow. And then coming back up to center. Nice work. We'll just turn the head to look over to the left, all the way, and over to the right, all the way, and back to center. Let's lay down now. And just take hold of the back of your head and pull the skull away from your middle back so your neck is really long when you lay your head down. We're going to bring the hands onto the ribs. Legs are hip width parallel and bent. And feel the breath moving the rib cage. Good, and then you can release your arms and we're going to follow the flow of breath with the arms. As you inhale, let the arms follow that breath and float overhead. And you might even feel your lower back lifts away from the floor. And as you exhale, arms are going to float on that exhalation back by your side and press your lower back into the floor. We're going to follow the breath. Inhaling, arms overhead. Lower back lifts a little. And as you exhale, pressing your lower back, arms float by you. Couple more. Leave your arms overhead now. Still feeling that length in the back of your neck. And then we're just going to lift the spine up off the floor. So take the tailbone up first, then the pelvis, then the lower back. And then see if you can articulate bone by bone. Right up to the top of the spine and then lowering down. We're going to follow the breath. Take a couple more. Inhaling to roll the spine up. And exhaling to roll the spine down. And one more. Lovely. Bring your arms in. And you can just put your arms down on the floor beside you, arms up. And we're going to take the feet out as wide as the mat. Just center yourself. And then we're going to let the legs roll left and right. Left and right. Find the core awareness. So as you move your legs, you take just what you need. You relax when you need to relax. And you tense when you need to tense. So that you feel supported and able to relax. Last one. And we'll bring the legs in and just relax the core of the body now. Relax your spine. Taking some deep breaths. Feeling the movement of the body with the breath. Recognizing the breath is always there. And what it feels like to make a connection. And then rolling over to your right side and coming up to sitting. Bringing your hands in front of your heart. Mm. And take the feeling of the practice with you. Namaste.